Starting early tonight, boys.
All right. We'll get some Twitters out and some faces out and some other stuff done.
Zencaster?
Yeah, we don't need that.
They're not. Oh, Twitter. The Twitters.
What's my name again? Oh, yeah.
John.
Will you calm down already? Jeez.
Has Eric seen the puppy?
Yeah, of course he's seen the puppy.
Of course he's seen the puppy. Bucky, you are wrong. That's just what he looks like.
Yeah, John's one of those dangerous drunks. He always looks sober.
Oh,
hey, that'd be a good idea. Strip club. Why don't we just cruise on down?
What are we talking about?
Eric's got the bill.
There's Bucky definitely been drinking already.
Okay, promise drinking.
I was falling asleep in the kid's bed. Just saying.
Oh, that's right.
I might have videotape of that somewhere.
Yeah, from one of your 12 cameras.
Softball.
1, 2, 1, 2. Coming off the top, y'all know how we do. Listen, I'ma drop a freestyle you can cherish. I'ma send a shout out to the host named Eric. Yo, he's never on some average shit. You know Eric, he stays loud and passionate. I'm about to break it down for y'all with a clever song. Yo, shout the host named Thomas, cause he's never wrong. Yo, shout to John, you know that he's smart and quiet, unlike my freestyles, which cause a riot. I'm about to do it like this, cause the people love me. Shouts out to PHP the Ugly. It's called ugly cause it's not professional, but I'm about to come through and bless it with style. So let's do it when I'm spitting. I perfume the room. Yo, the segment of the show is called Doom and Gloom. That came from Thomas. Yeah, can nobody go beyond this? I get the mic and then I'm about to keep it like a promise. Yeah, and y'all know we fill them up with anguish. We talking about the PHP, the programming language. About to break it down, no exaggeration. What do y'all do for a living? Web applications. Okay, I can dig it. My words spray tight. They getting together on the Thursday nights. Yeah, when it comes to rhyming, you can call me the new dude. I spew true lyrics while y'all broadcast on YouTube. So let's get it. You know my lyrics are major. All up in the comments, they got plenty of haters, but they doing what they doing. Keep it ugly. We ending every show with the saying it's lovely. Let's go.
There you go.
Let's go. Yeah.
We'll just make sure you got everything turned off there.
Yep, ready to go.
Alrighty. Discord, are we ready? Who do we got? We just got Bucky in here right now. Should we give Discord another minute to join?
No.
Bucky, you're in charge of Discord tonight. So remember that. You're listening to episode 271.
Wow, you did that good.
PHPUgly. I am your host, Eric Van Johnson, and with me tonight is John Congdon.
I thought you missed hitting record, but you got it. Like a professional.
Tom Rideout.
Like a professional.
Like
a professional.
But not,
if you're
not
joining
professional.
us, if you're listening to the audio podcast, you're going to notice something throughout the show. We record live every Thursday night, typically starting around 9 p.m. Pacific Coast time. Of course, tonight we started about 10 minutes early, but You can always join us and be part of the show in our Discord channel at discord.phpugly.com. Just come on in, join us. We're in there all week, chatting it up, talking. We got different channels for different things. So come on, join us and be part of the live show. The Discord they're the people who title the show for us. And if you're in Discord, you do that by doing the exclamation point title and then putting your title suggestion. And we go through all that at the end of the show.
And we need help, so
that,
please do so.
Let's get started.
That was it. So you said they were going to notice something different for some reason, or throughout the show. What are they going to notice? What am I missing?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, you said it.
They'll notice that we talk to people in our Discord.
Oh,
they're listening to the audio.
I thought you made it sound like there's gonna be something different than normal. And I'm like, no, that's kind of normal.
No, I'm not going to announce anything we're working on potentially.
No,
John,
that's not his style.
Would I do that?
I would never do such a thing.
Okay, just making sure we're on the same page. All right.
How's your week been, gentlemen?
Oh my goodness. You want to jump into it that quick, really?
John, well, okay, so John's drinking early. Let's start right there.
Well,
John.
That's because I did not get to drink Tuesday night. I normally drink a little Tuesday and a little Thursday. I didn't drink any Tuesday, so I had to drink all tonight. It's just the way it works.
Hey, I'm on board with that. No one here is arguing.
Yeah,
we had an exciting week at the Diego Dev headquarters this week.
But we'll save that for a little bit. We've teased that a little bit.
Let's talk about that.
Tom, how was
you should start.
What? Tom, how was your week?
Oh boy. It has been meetings, and meetings. And meetings, and I got quite frustrated by the time we had our sprint retrospective this week or today, and I was not a shining star for the sprint retrospective.
Why is that?
Because I've had so many problems this week with things just not working the way I want them to, doing a lot of management stuff that is interfering with tickets getting out the door, work that I wanted to get done that just does not get done. And fortunately, I have a 4-day weekend this weekend.
Because of PTO or some other reason?
Yes. It struck me on Thanksgiving how effective taking time off is when you're really at a stressful job. At my previous job, taking time off didn't really make sense. It was low stress, low pressure, getting things out the door just sort of on your own time. This job is very stressful. It's very difficult. And I started to understand the need for PTO just to take a day for myself. So I decided that seeing as it was my birthday this weekend, I would take a 4-day weekend, which it turns out was a very, very good idea.
Why is that?
Because I get to work
this past week.
Yeah, I get to work on the stuff that I want to get done and get worked on. Telling my boss that I'm gonna be coding over the weekend that I took time off for probably wouldn't make him super excited, but it totally excites me. I want to get some coding done. I want to get some things accomplished.
So you took time off, but you're going to continue coding versus getting away for your birthday.
I took time off. I'm going to start coding because I'll tell you what, I had 10 meetings today. And do you know how much coding you can get done when you have 10 meetings in one day?
I can tell you how much coding you can get done if you have one meeting. It's probably about the same.
No.
Yeah.
That's
have you
the
seen
metric.
Have you seen that article, the makers versus managers
Yes.
timeline or scheduling?
Yes, I have. So the article that John's referencing is basically discussing what is the KPI for each team. For developers, KPI is code produced. For managers, KPI is meetings accomplished. And
Well, it's also the fact that we work in chunks of time, not 1 hour blocks, where people that do scheduling and have meetings, they work from 10 to 11. I have this meeting. From 11 to 12, I have this meeting. And it's like your day is broke up into single hour chunks where for us to really get into a groove, we need a good 3, 4, 5 hour block of time.
so one of the things I will be doing moving forward is scheduling 4-hour chunks of time in my calendar for development. If you want to have a meeting with me during that period of time, not available. I am just coding uninterrupted.
I'm
So-
sorry to interrupt this little project management powwow here.
Oh, are we doing that
well,
again?
We stopped talking.
trying
We
to-
stopped talk management.
Trying to
project
figure out,
manager,
do you
5
have
minutes
like
ago.
a Rancor like under your desk or something? What is that sounds ferocious, whatever it is. What do we have
can't
here?
see.
What is
I
this?
can't
A
see.
bag?
I
I see
I
a
can't
computer
get. I
bag.
can't get the camera off my monitor.
Come on.
Can't get my monitor's like messed up. Oh, there we go.
John has done what all dog owners do, which is get another dog.
Yeah.
Oh, look at the little guy. Wait, is that the dog? What am I looking at?
Dog's down there
Yeah.
somewhere. Just can't
No, it's
get
the
over
it's the
edge.
crumpled
There
up
he is.
it's the crumpled up brown shirt in the middle of the frame there.
It actually looks like a little, what's it called, Rancor or whatever.
That's my cute little Penny Lane.
Penny Lane. Is that the name? Penny Lane?
That's the
Yep.
name.
Oh, that's too adorable.
Yep.
Yep.
It took a little selling to get the kids on board, but they eventually loved it. That's the problem, though. Pugs snore a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the breed is fundamentally flawed.
Yeah. But so cute in so many other ways. So I'll
Very
forgive it.
much. Very much.
It's an ugly sort of cute. We know a lot about that, don't we?
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay,
yeah,
Eric, how about your week? We'll move
come
on from
on.
project management.
Come on. You know.
No, if you're gonna
You know how
if you're
it
gonna complain about
works.
project management, I gotta hear this. I like that your router or your switch is visible in the background there.
Yep, had to plug in the old switch. Got my lights installed, so I needed network connectivity for my lights. You know how that is. But yeah,
You're
Yeah, I know.
slowly rebuilding the studio, and I
The
like
house-
seeing that.
the house is coming together, and the office specifically is coming together. I got my since we're showing moving cameras around, let's see if I can move mine. I got the old Diego Dev arcade system in here now, so that's
Nice.
good. But yeah, it's all kind of coming together. Getting pictures hung up. I'm really excited. The wife, she has an office as well. She's really pimped out her office. She's got like a refrigerator in there, a microwave in there, a coffee maker in there. It's like she's like gone full on nesting in her office. She's completely pimped out, but
She's like, I could just close myself in here and not go anywhere else. Leave me alone.
I'm pretty sure that's the goal. Yeah, I'm not sure what all the jars are for, but don't really want to know at this point.
One testicle at a time. It has always struck me that your wife is much better at time and space management than you are, as
Don't
far
say
as
time and
like
space.
getting things locked down.
Inside joke,
me.
but that's funny.
Yeah, you've struck a nerve. You struck a nerve with us, Tom.
You were working with Doctor Who?
No.
Well,
hard to
yes.
explain. Well,
Yes.
yeah. All right.
I
let's
like
talk.
Drunk John. He's got the giggles.
Let's talk. Let's talk. What is name as a Unix administrator? Let's start with that.
Oh, bad news
What
this
is
week.
what is the worst possible thing you can do to your system that we all do?
At some point in your career.
Oh, run anything as root?
Well, you think that's the worst? Maybe if you do an rm-rf/ is probably the worst thing you could possibly do.
If you don't do it as root, you're fine.
Why do you do this? Just lean into
Just
it for
go.
me.
All right, wipe your
Jesus
disk.
Christ.
Worst thing you could possibly do, wipe your disk.
Oh my freaking God. If you're a database administrator, what's the worst thing you can possibly do?
Wipe your database.
Especially your production database.
Yeah.
Yeah, those tables drop quickly, brother. we
Yeah,
we had it
they're supposed to be
incident.
fast.
This week where one of our developers thought they were working in their local environment and just started dropping tables like it's nobody's business. Just started dropping tables. Pretty much.
Yeah, it was not a fun evening. Eric and I were typing in Slack, just talking normally, and all of a sudden Eric's like, "John, huddle now." I'm like, "What?" I never get called into Slack huddles because I hate Slack huddles.
Yeah.
And for him to snap like that, like now, I knew it was serious.
Oh God.
Oh,
Oh, I'm getting indigestion.
so
Yeah,
I have my Slack set up where I get notified whenever my name is mentioned. They don't have to do an @Eric. If the word Eric is in any conversation, I get notified. So I got notified, and I pop over there, and the message was, "I think we're gonna have to bring Eric in." I'm like, "Okay, what's going on?" Somebody's like, "Hey, our biggest client, or one of our biggest clients, we have two clients that are kind of our biggest client. One of our two biggest clients is the project they're working on." And they say, "Yeah, we started dropping tables in production." And I'm like, "Okay, seriously, it's late. I don't got time for this shit. What's going on?" It's like, "No, that's
like,
it."
It was
like right around
7
4
o'clock.
o'clock. No, it was like 4 o'clock our time.
I'm hitting nap time.
Yeah,
Let's get it done.
And of course, I'm trying to work on client work as well. Like I have another client that I've been trying to get work done for like weeks now, and I keep getting pulled in a different direction. And yesterday was one of the first days I had a good chunk of day to work on it, and I'm getting these messages. So it's like, oh my God, you got to be kidding me! And they weren't. It was just one of those things, right? I mean, we've all done it, and this is when you're like, God, I hope our disaster recovery plan works.
So Roger A says, "Gotta color code those tabs," and I agree. If your client allows for that, great. I use Data Grip. I don't think they have colored tabs, but I set up production like a simple checkbox. It's read only. So if I need to make changes, I have to manually go uncheck that. Like,
right. And honestly,
I have to know I'm making changes.
The developer should have never had the permissions to drop the tables. I mean, that was a flaw in our infrastructure. And we're going to have to address that. But yeah, you're right. I mean, I am overly cautious about that stuff, and I still make mistakes all the time with it. So yeah, I'm not sure colored tabs would have caught this one. I like John's approach where you mark it as a read only.
But I've done it in like on replicas too, where I've updated data on replicas, which then completely hoses your replication if you're not careful. So another place where I try to do that now on my replica servers, go and check that it's read only from my connection unless I reconnect in a read write fashion.
So let's be clear about this. If you work in this industry long enough, you're going to make a boneheaded play like this. It just happens. I mean, it's like it's just the odds. I mean, eventually it's going to happen. So, yeah, it happened, and we had backups, fortunately, and even additionally, fortunately, we were using Amazon's RDS service, which
I don't. I only use on this project, and I'm not actively involved in it. I've been trying to get the main contract I work on to move over, and they've done testing, and RDS and Aurora would perform worse for their application. Like they just won't move over to it.
I don't doubt it. I mean, because it's I know the client you're talking about, and I think that data needs to be pretty close to the code.
Yeah. So from that perspective, I know how to maintain servers. I mean, I've been doing that for 20 years, right? Having a primary database and multiple replicas. So I get called in, and my first instinct is get the bin logs. Like first and foremost, that is the key. We know our backup was like 1 o'clock in the morning. I know I need the bin logs since then so I can reconstruct the data, turn off the web servers, or make it where people can't access or make changes. So that's my first instinct. I didn't go to, let's use RDS to restore better. Yeah. So while everyone is trying to figure out what to do, that's my first instinct. I'm like, don't do anything. Let me at least get this so I'm comfortable with getting restored to some state of like workability.
And if you are in charge of any production environment that depends on a MySQL database
or any
obviously
database.
Yeah, any database. Obviously, make sure you have backups. Make sure your backups are good, but learn this recovery method that John's talking about getting the bin logs and restructuring the data, because you're only as good until your last backup. And like in this situation, that would have meant that our client would have lost an entire day of sales. Yeah. So we needed to reconstruct that data from that day, which the bin logs would have allowed us to do. And we're actually going through that. And one of the things we've been talking about for this particular client is moving the database to that Amazon MySQL Aurora for a couple of reasons.
Which is what I run.
The biggest reason we were doing it is because by default, it does encryption at rest, which is a big requirement for our client. But I remembered, I'm like, man, I know that had a point in time recovery to it. Yeah. So, I mentioned it earlier, but our administrator kind of, it's like, yeah, it would have been nice had we switched over, we would have had that. So I'm like, yeah, I don't think it has it for the MySQL Community Edition. Is what we're basically
in RDS.
In RDS, yeah. So as we're going through this with the bin logs, I start Googling, how to do point-in-time recoveries, just to see how simple it would have been had we moved to that other service. And I'm looking at the tutorial. I'm like, wait a minute, they're using MySQL. Like that's the MySQL RDS. It's like, wait. So I log in. I don't say anything to anybody. We're all kind of, we're not sweating bullets. We just know we're all kind of hunkering down for a long night. We're all expecting to have this long night. So the guys are working on the bin logs. I log into the console and I'm getting over to RDS. I'm getting over to the SQL database that went down, and I hit the little drop down menu and it says point in time recovery. I'm like, what?
You're giving away how hard you actually worked on this.
Well,
this is going to take all night, fellas.
What's funny is I contemplated saying anything because I'm like, I wanted to click it. Like I wanted to start the process because I thought I was going to click it and it was going to say oh, you can't do a point-in-time recovery for this instance. You know, that's what I was expecting.
You're on too old of a server or something.
Or yeah, you can upgrade to this and we'll backtrack it for $5,000.
Exactly. So eventually I say something.
We were doing point-in-time recovery. You just don't have access to it. You want access to it? Then knock yourself out.
I eventually say something to it, and the administrator is like, I don't think so. And I direct them to where it's at, and they click. I'm like, let's click on it. I mean, it's not going to get worse at this point.
But no, that is like the hardest click.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
It wasn't because half the tables were gone.
And at that
That's
point,
true.
we had the backup and we had the bin logs. So we had started basically 2 ways of recovery. So no matter what, I was okay. If something happened to that server at that point, I'm like, we've got everything we need.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I don't know about you, John, but I was floored by how fast it did. Like when I saw how fast it had recovered, I'm like, yep, nope, that didn't work.
Oh yeah, no, it gave you a new server that was already running the backed up version.
No, it does spin up a new server, and it restored the backup. It restored the last backup that it had in the system because everything's through the RDS service, so it knew what the last backup was. It restored it, and then it just started going through the bin logs to the time we specified, which was a minute before, or like seconds before the tables got dropped.
I believe that 15 years ago, I paid Percona $25,000 to do that.
It wouldn't surprise me. Yeah, because I tell you what, when you're in that situation, that's probably a great $25,000 you spent.
Oh yeah, no, we didn't regret it in the slightest.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I wish, like, you have to choose I want to go to this second. What I would really like to see in AWS is when you give them a time frame, they show you the bin log up to that point. You can say, here's the exact point in time, because you've got hundreds or thousands of queries in a second.
Here's the person who did this. Just do everything that was requested except for this one person.
Another flaw. Everyone logs in as the same user into the database.
Yeah.
But that's a great, I mean, I love that idea. If it was tracked, which it's not, bin logs only store the queries that are run, not who runs them. Am I wrong?
Wouldn't be so sure.
I'm not now you say that, but I'm curious.
I don't think he is.
But that would be.
I would tell you, query logs, which was the old way of doing replication data, did not have user information, but I believe bin logs know the user.
I don't think so.
I've deleted them since then, so I don't know for sure. But
that was a good call. Was it an accident?
So in the, it might actually have that, Eric, because there are so many comments within a bin log that it might have that data in there. So I love that idea of, if people were logged in as different users, like, run everything except for what this user did.
Mm-hmm.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, you know what? I actually have to applaud the client as well. I mean, obviously, we reached out to the client. We said, hey, there's something weird happening. I don't know. Let us check. No, we told him exactly what was happening. And the client stayed completely radio silent. They were like, okay, let me inform the team, tell them what's happening. And that was it. He reached out to me a couple times for updates, and I gave him updates. But this is a client where I've had to tell them in the past, listen, we can't fix shit if you keep talking to us. Stop messaging us so we can fix what's wrong. And we've had to have that conversation in the past. And this time, it was dead silent. And then, we were able to get everything fixed and resolved and told them, and they were actually very happy.
And then the next night, the CEO of the company calls me to say, hey, how are you, or are you disciplining so-and-so? And I'm like, no,
Kaylin.
I mean,
we can just say Kaylin.
It wasn't Kaylin.
I know, but that's why I can say it's Kaylin.
I was like, no, I told him in the midst of everything while we were recovering, I said, I'm pissed. Don't get me wrong. I'm pissed, but I've been there. I've done this. I know what you're feeling.
Like I said,
So,
it cost my company $24,000 when I did it.
Yeah.
When that other guy did it. Yeah.
So
this is one of the things people need to understand about programmers is that you're going to make the same mistakes every programmer makes. And one of those things is dropping a production table, and a lot of
running a bad
money.
Query.
Yeah.
Or running a bad delete, bad update, something.
Oh yeah.
And the implementation in MySQL to prevent you from doing this is running the MySQL client with / I am stupid, so that you do not have drop permissions, you do not have update without a where clause, but we don't work like
so
that.
Far. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone on a work site gets hit with a tool. That's the way it is. And you don't fire that person and kick them out of the industry because of it. You say, hey, this person.
Yeah. I mean, that was a funny thing that our client CEO called me to say, give him a break, like put him right back on the horse, get him.
Oh, I thought you were saying
back
the opposite.
Out there. No, he was very clear, like, don't take disciplinary actions, put him right back into a big project, trust him. I'm like, yeah.
No, you take disciplinary actions. When I did it, I had to take the trash out for like a couple weeks.
So, I mean, we did menial stuff like, hey, during the recovery, you've got to be in here, hit and refresh, and let us know when it's back up. And like, we're not going to sit here. You sit here and do this.
So we did do that actually.
See, that's perfect. That's the kind of petty vengeance I expect from developers.
It reminds me of 20 years ago. Somebody was supposed to be taking backups of their data at the time. They didn't, and something happened. I mean, I hear this after I get hired later, where the CEO made that person stay there. And at that point, they had invoices on paper, and they had to manually re-enter every invoice into whatever system they were using at the time.
Absolutely.
You didn't take the backups, you're paying the price.
Absolutely.
So that was our week.
Fun week. Yeah.
Oh, you guys did something else interesting this week.
We did.
But before we get to that,
okay,
I'd like to thank our sponsor.
Who would that be?
We'd like to thank our sponsor for this episode, HookRelay.dev. HookRelay.dev allows you to create powerful webhooks without having to create all of the groundwork yourself. Sure, the basics of sending webhooks are easy, but to add more powerful features takes time and effort. That's where HookRelay.dev saves the day. Have you ever tried sending data to third parties that have strict API limits? Do you handle those failures caused by those limits properly using traditional back-off algorithms? Stop worrying about third parties with flaky servers and let HookRelay.dev continue trying to reach them for you. Resending failed webhooks or just resending for testing is as simple as clicking a button. You can also be the recipient of webhooks. That's right, HookRelay.dev handles both inbound and outbound webhooks. HookRelay.dev can catch the request and then send them to your servers. And best of all, reporting. Writing code to track success failures, create reports, and more is already done with HookRelay.dev. Try HookRelay.dev's free tier today. Get 3 endpoints, 14-day retention, and 100 deliveries per day. Thank you, HookRelay, for sponsoring today's episode.
Thank you,
Thanks,
HookRelay.
HookRelay.
Thank you, HookRelay. So, last week we talked about my issue.
No.
Well, I was trying to explain to you guys my what? What's no?
No, we're gonna talk about the elephant in the room, which is
There's
the fact
a couple
that
of them behind me.
the two of you,
What?
Actually, there's 4 right there.
the two of you did an interview with the voices of the elephant.
The Godfather himself, Uncle Cal.
I am deeply insulted.
I just want to call out something that might not be evident to everybody else.
There was a lot of editing involved. That's all I'm saying.
Ben Ramsey was interviewed for Voices of the Elephant, and if you go back and listen to that interview, Cal absolutely refused to interview Ben Ramsey. He's like, "I'm not doing this. I'm walking away." And then for our interview, Cal came back. At least that's what I heard. Just saying.
Yeah, you talked a lot about community, the value of community, what it means to build a platform with people who you appreciate.
Appreciate people in the community.
People who provide insight into.
I mean, we couldn't have done it without them. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It was important.
It was a great interview.
Thank you.
I was a little bit surprised.
Well, why would that be?
Because PHPUgly and myself specifically never got mentioned.
I'm sure we mentioned it.
We mentioned it. It's a heavily edited podcast.
Very heavily edited.
Well, but in the Slack channel though, where you failed to mention that you had done this interview or were going to do this interview, you actually said, "Oh, I can't believe I completely forgot to mention PHPUgly or Tom completely."
That doesn't sound true at all.
Yeah.
No.
It was.
We went on about a 15-20 minute rant about you, your history, where you were born. I mean, there was a lot of information that just got cut.
Just got dropped.
All of it.
Yeah, that's a bummer. Well, like, it was a good episode.
The guy who started PHPUgly, his idea, brought us all together.
Did all the editing.
The
first couple of years.
All the video management.
All the artwork. No, it was an interview specifically about us running PHP Architect.
Yeah.
So
it was a video specifically about who used to own PHP Architect and how you guys were ruining it. Because as much as I don't usually listen to podcasts, Cal certainly had opinions on the process of running a magazine and how he was surprised. He was surprised you guys were having difficulties with it.
It was his baby for a long time. I get it.
Yeah, no, and you've ruined his baby.
It's probably. I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure. Maybe they'll make a movie about us, Tom. What do you think? Can they possibly do a documentary on us?
That'd be a little cringy.
What are the thoughts? Do we have opinions of if you're not in the Laravel universe, you might have missed it. I don't know how you would have missed it, but a trailer, not even the documentary, a trailer to the documentary of the origins of Laravel was released. What are your thoughts?
I saw it being shared, and I'm just flabbergasted. I'm like, I don't know. I remember how big Laravel was when we started SDPHP, and William talking about Laravel. It was Laravel 3 at the time, going on 4, and I mean, he was a super fan that got us involved in it. But to be worthy of a documentary, I guess it's going to appeal to some people, but I don't know.
I know exactly who it's going to appeal to.
You look like you have opinions, Tom.
Have you seen Jiro Dreams of Sushi?
Yes.
No.
There's a revelation at the end, in the last 10 minutes of Jiro Dreams of Sushi.
Mm-hmm. What is that? What are you talking about?
Oh, if you haven't seen it, well, you wouldn't like it.
It's one of the most popular documentaries of the last 10 years.
Yeah. It's all about a guy who runs a sushi shop, but it gives you a whole appreciation for the art and craft of what he does.
No, it's a documentary about his son not being good enough.
No, it's not about that. Oh my God, you've got daddy issues. Would you stop?
Watch it
Just
again.
answer the
reason
freaking
it's-
question. What do
the
you
reason
think
it's
about this?
So, someone really likes Laravel and wants to create documentaries. That's my opinion of it.
Okay.
Like the fact
So-
that they put an extraordinary group of people together to discuss Laravel, and the trailer is clearly edited to favor Taylor and everything that he. Well, no, but the thing is that like the documentary ends with a montage of everyone saying Taylor's name, and then Taylor sitting down in a chair like Elon Musk and being like,
That's fair.
No, he doesn't. Oh my god.
watch it again.
Do you guys?
it's
you
real-
care about my opinion, or are you just gonna sit on your little high horse and shit on everything? Or do I get an opinion? Okay,
No.
great. Let's go. I don't know what this trailer's about. I know it's being done by some company.
It's about Laravel.
I don't know why they're doing it. But honestly, I would love to see more of these. I would watch a trailer like this I'll watch this Laravel one. I'll watch one about PHP internals. I would watch one about WordPress, Drupal.
But he won't watch the documentary, just the trailer.
Yeah, documentary, you dick. Whatever is behind this, I hope this continues. I hope that they're planning on doing more of these. Is it okay?
But I would have hoped that some of the people who are being interviewed would have been the stars, because
they had Jeffrey Way, they had Matt, they had Frick, they had
more
Adam.
That's the thing. Jeffrey Way and the way he built a business out of education, more interesting to me. Frick and the way he runs a business.
You don't know what the documentary is. That was just a trailer.
No. I know that it ends with everyone saying Taylor's name, and then
The
Taylor
trailer
walking
does, not the documentary.
Sure, but like,
so you just don't want to like it. You just don't want to like it because it's Laravel. Is that
that's besides the point. Yes, that's
In other
true.
words, true.
Okay.
But that's besides the point.
What's the point then?
Because I think Frick and Fabien Potentier are much better topics for a documentary.
I'm just hoping they have Livewire. I really think they need to nail Livewire on that documentary. It needs to be like a whole 15, 20 minute segment. If it's a multi-part documentary, it should be one of its own parts.
I'm sure if you want to back it, I've got somebody that is into making documentaries that I know that would probably do it for us. He was a developer.
And that's what this feels like.
And he moved on to doing a documentary on college radio.
I mean, the only thing worse than that is podcasting. So
yeah,
we're just one step down. So I think that would work. I don't know. I geek out on stuff like this. I mean, these sort of documentaries in my wheelhouse, in the industry I'm in, I would love to see more of these. I doubt we will.
I agree, but like, start with an old technology that is ubiquitous in society. Don't
Why?
Why won't you go with what's hot right now? Yeah, this is why you don't make documentaries, Tom, right there.
It was hard for me to get all the way to the end of this trailer.
It was not. Stop it.
They
actually did a good job of putting it together.
Sure, absolutely. Like, there were no technical flaws, but like a documentary that is just praising something is not a documentary. It's an advertisement.
You don't know if it's just praising Laravel. You haven't seen the documentary yet.
Right. I just saw the trailer, and the trailer is like this endless gush. And it was.
Can we make a trailer and not an actual documentary and just like about PHPUgly, and so people think it's amazing.
Fucking Joe.
That would be very.
It's just
difficult.
a trailer.
Yeah.
I would
And if you're
love. I
curious-
would love
if
a
you're
documentary
curious,
about PHP
Tom-
that involved.
Tom, you're gonna want to lock in on this one. Taylor did announce this week as well that they're hiring for Laravel, the company Laravel. So Tom, get your resume in. We're trying to flood Taylor with resumes because we're kind of trying to block somebody out from possibly getting a job there.
Oh, I'm already far blacklisted.
So
I-
send your resume anyway.
I actually talked to Taylor today, and it was funny. Before that happened, I told John, I'm like, yeah, I don't think he's talking to me anymore
Because you've been trying to talk to him for a month. Like,
Yeah,
I don't have an in. Like, he's not following me, so I can't DM him. I've tried.
I've been knocked down the rungs a little bit where I don't get direct responses from Taylor.
You're almost unfollowed at this point.
Yeah, no, but
Almost,
then you're
yeah.
on Voices of the Elephant, and everyone's available to you.
Jealous.
gosh.
Dude, jealous doesn't even start. We have talked at length about the cult of Laravel, or like the Laravel stands, or like the super fans. This documentary, it does not appeal to anyone who has any criticism of Laravel. The trailer does not appeal to anybody who has any criticisms of Laravel. This trailer appeals to people who
I
are
criticize Laravel.
blind
Why?
super fans.
So we've had this conversation a lot, and I've always had a hard time putting my finger on it. You like to call people fans. I call them listeners. We don't have fans. We have listeners. And I think this is an example of where that line gets drawn, because when you have a fan, and there's nothing wrong with having fans. I agree with you. Laravel has fans. They have fanboys. They have people who
Stands.
that when you have a fan, they lose perspective on what it is they're a fan of. They just become a fan of that thing, and I don't think anybody's like that with us. Like, I think like anybody in Discord will criticize us in a heartbeat, and
Buttery?
as they should.
Buttery?
Buttery, you there?
Buttery?
Buttery, hello.
Buttery?
And I think that's one of the distinctions where I don't feel comfortable ever saying we have fans, and we shouldn't say we have fans, because we have listeners. We have other developers who listen to us and who give us feedback and tell us tell us when we're wrong, and the fact that we can do that and we don't stop following them on Twitter.
I don't know if this is going to get cut from the podcast or not, but I've never had someone who listened to the show up at my doorstep and ask for a job because they were a fan of the show. That's a fan. Like someone showing up in the town that you're in and wanting to have dinner and chat.
It's talking about when we had an office.
That's a fan.
Oh, that's true. We did have that happen.
That's a fan.
No, it was a listener who happened to be in town.
For the purposes of talking to you. That's a fan.
Anyway,
so we do have fans.
One or two. But I agree with what Eric's saying. His whole point is there are fans of Laravel that will see no wrong, but Eric will point out flaws in Laravel. He uses it.
I did two interviews. I did 2 interviews today where one of my core questions was, what do you like about Laravel? And they give me 3 things they like about Laravel or whatever. And what don't you like about Laravel? And if you can't give me something you don't like about Laravel, you are out. Because that means you're not criticizing the software you're using. It means that you like Laravel because it makes things easy for you, but you're not good enough to really criticize the places where it blocks you, where it ties you down. And I get so many, I have done so many interviews for people I'm trying to hire, and I say, what is it about Laravel you don't like? And they just go, man, it's all great. And I immediately know, like right then, like you're looking for the easy way. And Laravel does not solve every problem.
That can be said about PHP itself, right? If somebody doesn't have a criticism about PHP,
what don't you like about PHP? I can tell you right now what I don't like about PHP. Generics. Sure. Or their just-in-time work has not paid off. Or the community has not embraced change as much as it should. I can tell you right away what I don't like about PHP. And I can tell you right away what I don't like about Laravel, right away what I don't like about Cake. And people who work with Symfony for 10 years can tell me right away, yeah, not a big fan of Doctrine. But for some reason, people get into Laravel and they're like, yeah, everything's perfect. And it obviously isn't.
I think, the other aspect of that, and we don't have to go too big of a tangent on this, but I also think Laravel has established itself where you have professionals that are at, professionals like us and professionals that are like levels above us who use it and who can identify and criticize it. And then you have beginners who that's their introduction into the language itself is Laravel.
Sure.
And they're the ones who don't have a perspective. Like they don't understand, why they're doing something is bad practice or.
And this is my biggest complaint that I forgot about the trailer is that the first half of the trailer is a bunch of people saying PHP was dying.
Oh, PHP, I don't remember seeing that.
Yeah,
it was. It's real weird. The first half of the trailer is PHP was dying. People stopped using it. There wasn't enough progress being made. The things were slowing down. We hadn't had a new version in blank, blank, blank years. Yeah. And then the second half of the trailer is, but then Laravel happened. And PHP started getting better. It's like they're totally knocking PHP for the first half of the trailer. It's really,
and you know what? I mentioned this in Slack or Discord. I forget. Everybody's done this, right? WordPress did that. WordPress is like, hey, we are the saviors of PHP. PHP is still relevant because we're around. I mean, there's always going to be that package, that framework, that implementation of PHP that is leading the charge of developers coming to the language. Now, if they are truly representing that PHP made the advancements it's made since the 5 days because of Laravel, that would be in poor taste, right? That would be
I just listened. The very first words in it was PHP was falling behind.
Yeah,
and it was. Hold on. It was.
What does that have to do with Laravel? Fucking
well,
nothing.
That's my point. And I've always said that one of the reasons Laravel got such a jump start was Laravel 4 was released right when PHP was turning that corner, and Laravel 4 was the first one to take advantage of a lot of things that the new PHP was doing, like Composer. We've had this conversation many times. So what they're saying isn't untrue. Laravel had stalled.
No, just deceptive.
Not Laravel.
Because it wasn't Laravel, it was Composer.
PHP had stalled. That's my point. If they're presenting this as Laravel is the reason PHP got better, yes, I would side with you 100%.
That's
shouldn't be doing
absolutely how they present it.
That's not what they said, though. They said that Laravel...
In the trailer, that's absolutely how they present it. That Laravel saved PHP.
I will reserve my opinion until I actually see the documentation to actually see the documentary. But yeah, I mean, whatever. Of course, it is.
You gotta spin it somehow to get people to watch anyway. So
absolutely. Documentaries aren't the truth; they're just documentaries. But Like I was immediately put off by how the trailer starts by bashing PHP and then ends with a bunch of people saying Taylor's name and Taylor sitting down at a chair and saying,
It's showmanship.
I'm here.
I'm sure Taylor didn't know that's how he was going to be presented.
Absolutely not. No, I know for a fact. I know for a fact that's not how
You know
he
for a
thought he was
fact?
going to be presented.
You know
But
that for a fact? You
absolutely,
talked to Taylor?
because no, Taylor
They
wouldn't
might have told Taylor.
Taylor-
We're just going to lead up to you.
Taylor would not stand for that. I'll tell you, I know how documentaries are made.
I can't follow this guy. I swear to God, I can't follow this guy.
I need another beer. But before I get another beer, let's
Sure.
thank our patrons on Patreon. Beautiful animation. Goes all the way up to my birthday on Saturday.
I gotta. Is it
it was
your
done
birthday?
specifically for that.
What? Where are you going, Tom?
He's just said you got to get a beer. You know, you got to go right in the middle of the show because you can't have an extra one on your desk. You have to go
I was saying-
stop in the middle.
You know how long the show runs. You just prepare for it, man. Oh,
Exactly.
all right. Well, why
Oh,
Tom
man.
is gone and why he has the Patreon screen just scrolling without our images on it, I will bring people up to date. Last week, I was talking about using tiles and stacks on my Pop! OS System 76 machine, and how I had ran into a problem where I could not tab over to PHP Storm anymore. And the
You
next
could
day,
tap to it. You just couldn't use it, right?
yeah, and it would always move it. Like I would tab over to it, and then it would like still not be active. So I even made a video of it. I forget when I did. It was the next day or the following day. I made a video of it. I really wasn't calling anybody out. I wasn't really expecting any response, and I was thinking it was more of a System 76 Pop! OS issue. And I've got to hand credit where credit is due. You guys know me and my struggles with JetBrains and PHP Storm, and not really embracing it quite as much as John and Tom did until he decided to jump ship on it. But they tweeted at me and said, "Hey, try this," and I gotta give them credit. I'm like, that is pretty awesome. It's like the fact that they saw that tweet and they thought to respond to me. I've got to give PHP Storm a little bit more due credit. And I've always said it was a good tool. It's just not one I particularly use. But I've got to try using it. And for the record, I didn't do what they said because by the time they had responded, I had patched my OS, I had done a reboot, and the problem went away. So I never thought it was a PHP Storm issue, but somebody at JetBrains had an idea of a setting that might help me, and I never took the opportunity to fix it. But I did share the tweet in our Discord if anybody else has that issue, and I added that information to the video on YouTube as well. So if anybody happens to stumble upon it, they will see it there. But hats off to the people at JetBrains and PHP Storm. I appreciate that follow up.
Gotta like a good company like that.
You do. You really do. I mean, you really do get the sense that they care about developers. You know what I mean? Like the developers are important to them, and they really try to listen to what they want.
I mean,
Maybe somebody will do a documentary on them at some point.
We can go one step further than that. PHP Annotated is a monthly blog entry from JetBrains just about the PHP environment. And despite the fact that, once again, our podcast did not get mentioned, there is a lot of good stuff in this month's issue of PHP Annotated. Like a lot of really cool deep dives into PHP fundamentals, stuff like that. But the real big work that JetBrains has done is the foundation of the PHP Foundation. When Nikita Popov announced he was leaving the PHP internals group, JetBrains jumped in and said, "Hey, we're going to take over managing contractors to continue development in PHP, and they released their first update, the January 2022 update, where they basically said, here's our sponsors, here's our money, and we are working with some very exciting developers to fund them to continue development in PHP. They have a GitHub repo, github.com/thephpf, where they are releasing their current, they're saying they're releasing their current decision-making process. It's not currently public, but they're working on making the bi-weekly meetings public, and they are currently working with applicants for contracting to the JetBrains legal department. So the JetBrains is taking over legal issues for contracting PHP development and getting shit done. They've got a list of all of their sponsors, donors, stuff like that, and they are on Twitter at the PHPF, where you can see all the latest news from them. I'm really excited about the PHP Foundation. I thought this was going to like disappear into the trenches for a year.
We did as like the second contributor to the foundation, second and third. Yeah,
well, you knew before me and didn't tell me, so I mean, it's like I go to San Diego for no reason.
Joe in our Discord says, I really hope you know Gary, his Twitter handle, GEH on Twitter, because he would appreciate that comment. What comment did you say? Oh, Buttery isn't angry. That's what I was gonna say. If you don't follow Gary Hawken, you should. He's a great speaker. He used to work for JetBrains, and he actually did a lot of JetBrains tutorials that would, if you aren't interested in JetBrains, would get you interested. He does the whole, like Vim, right? He uses JetBrains entirely through the keyboard, but he doesn't use Vim bindings or anything. He just uses all the built-in JetBrains Vim bindings. So he's a I don't think he's at JetBrains anymore, but he's a fun guy to watch speak. That's all I had to say about that.
There's also a bit of good news about Laravel, aside from the shining trailer for the documentary, is that Laravel, the Laravel conference, which is online once again due to the situation, is online and free this year.
Where were you last week when we talked about this?
I was so drunk.
We made the whole joke about, hey, we're going to buy all of our employees a ticket to the conference.
Yep, remember that very clearly now.
Gave everybody in Discord free tickets.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
How would one get to our Discord if they were to quote our Twitter fans?
We did this last week too.
I've mentioned it twice already, but we'll mention it a third time. You can go to discord.phpugly.com if you would like to join us. I did a whole lead into that.
At the very beginning.
That makes sense.
Are you guys
aware? You did listen to last week's show where Eric and I both led into it, and you still asked a third or fourth or fifth time.
Yeah. No, it's called a running joke.
That's what it is.
It's making it funny again.
Maybe we should thank our Patreons again. What do you think?
Hey,
don't hit the button.
Thanks to our Patreon. Oh man. Okay, so I need some of the Patreon bucks, because as you know, I use the Stream Deck for handling all of the many video transitions that we do. Stream Deck announced the Stream Deck pedal. Did you see this?
No, why would I have seen this?
It's a pedal that connects to your Stream Deck, and you can use foot commands to switch scenes and do all your magic stuff.
Can I just point out the fact that when I got my keyboard, somebody on this podcast went and said, "Oh, look, you can hook a pedal up to the keyboard." What idiot would do that? Do you remember this?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Okay, we'll have to find out. We'll have to find that podcast again. But yes, that happened. My Kinesis keyboard has the option to add pedals to it, and somebody was criticizing that architecture.
But you sure it wasn't a guest? Like, did we have a guest on that was like
you wanted pedal? You wanted pedal? Stream Deck pedal.
Stream Deck pedal.
How much is?
And what would you do with these pedals?
Well, I mean, I could do this.
You can do that with pushing the button right down your desk.
Like, right. It looked like you did it right there.
No, but it required.
We'd like to thank our sponsor for this episode, HookRelay.dev.
Are you running the commercial again? Did you just
run
the commercial again?
If I'd had the pedal, that accident would not have happened.
Oh my god.
It's only $100. I know you like toys. I can see behind you.
See me? Yeah. I've been fidgeting with my little Batman fidgeter I got for. You want to see what else I got for Christmas? It's pretty cool.
I got that same thing except it's black. The same little fidget thing. I've been trying not to mess with it during the show.
I 3D printed one a while ago.
Yeah, me too.
Oh yeah, you got the 3D printer. I'm thinking about getting back in the 3D printer market.
If anybody can explain to me what it is I'm supposed to do with this thing, I'd appreciate it. I don't know exactly what it is, but it's so cool. It's this little black, like.
Do you have a magnet?
Oh, it's ferrofluid. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Look at that. Right? Is that all you do with it? You just play with it with the magnet? That's it. So you shouldn't drink this. Is what you're telling me. I thought it was venom. I was hoping I was going to have superpowers.
If you put it in your butt, there's a couple subreddits you'll end up on.
This thing is so cool, man. I love this thing.
Yeah, it's a ferro.
I had one, and my kid somehow cracked the tops, and then it started leaking all over the place.
And nobody got superpowers. I mean, I'm really kind of focused on the whole superpower thing. If I'm kind of disappointed it doesn't give you superpowers. Okay, so I should stop drinking.
Do you know that it doesn't give you superpowers, or are you just chicken?
I do not. Everything has the potential to give you superpowers if you're brave enough to.
Absolutely. Try putting it in your butt. See what happens. You could be butt venom.
All right, the show took a weird turn.
Very ashamed of everything I've said in the last 10 minutes.
So I finally we've had the conversation about NFTs, and I've been pretty clear on I think they're fairly worthless, and I think they've become just a money grab for people. You want to talk about fans? That's where people are using fans wrong, right? They get all these fans hyped up for NFTs and sell them and whatever. Did you know you can have a
story about? Sorry, wasn't there a news story about like two women that used some generation software to create images, and then they made NFTs, and they got out of poverty because they were penniless until this, and then all of a sudden they made some money off of it. Because
it wouldn't surprise me. I don't understand.
That's all of the stories.
Yeah.
I
don't get it. I honestly don't get it. I don't get it. But apparently now you can have NFTs as your profile picture on Twitter. Did you guys?
Okay, there's caveats to this. Twitter has the Plus, like the Twitter Blue subscription platform. If you're a Twitter Blue subscriber, which costs money, then you can link your NFT to your Twitter profile, and you'll get a hexagonal frame around your NFT. Now,
Really?
The thing is Twitter doesn't care what the source of your NFT is, which minting a new NFT costs $2. So if you just copy someone's JPEG and mint a new NFT off of it for $2, Twitter will display it in a hexagon and upset a lot of people.
So I could have,
Well-
I can take a picture, a JPEG picture of the NFT that somebody paid $50 million for, and then say
Yes.
I own it.
No. But you can make it your Twitter profile. And you can get a hexagon around it.
Well, I can own the NFT for the
Do you,
copy of the JPEG.
Nope.
Don't tell me no.
Who's gonna stop
NFT.
hexagon
Who's gonna
profile
stop
picture.
me?
Do you have an example?
Is it
of a
illegal all of a
hexagon
sudden?
profile?
That's not illegal.
Okay, then why are you saying no? I can't do it.
Because the value
said I could.
resides. The value
I'm not-
resides.
I'm not saying it's
in-
worth $50 million.
Don't
You
don't
just
say it
did.
in your butt.
You just
You've said
did.
it in your butt too many times this show.
Put it in your butt. Right in your butt. NFTs are
Worthless.
both
Okay, move on.
No. NFTs are both dumb and brilliant. In the same way that we recognize a couple Renaissance painters, but in reality there are thousands of Renaissance painters. And we even recognize some Renaissance painters who were trained by the masters as if they were the masters. And if you want to get into art theory, it gets real messy about what art is and why art has value. And the Bored Ape stuff, as stupid as it is, holds value because it is an original form of art. And the Bored Apes will always have value. And
I have no
you
clue what
can
you're talking about.
now you can forge the Bored Apes, but verifying forgeries of the Bored Apes is very easy because of the blockchain. And that's the value lies in the fact that the art is shit, but verification of authenticity is easy. It's a really stupid market, but every new art market is really stupid. Andy Warhol's art market was really stupid because he mass produced genuine artworks. And everyone said, this is so dumb. Why would I want to buy a pencil from Andy Warhol? And Andy Warhol made it valuable. Yes, the stuff is really dumb. But does that affect the value? No.
But the
value
thing
is
I
in-
always said, the thing I always said is when you bought that thing from Andy Warhol, you owned it. You don't own anything with the NFT.
You didn't own it. That was Warhol's thing. Warhol's thing was that when he printed something for Playboy magazine, he knew he was making 500,000 of a thing. And immediately the magazine sold out off the shelves because it had an Andy Warhol print in it.
Right, but those people who bought that own that.
Sure, they got the first 500,000. And then when
That's
Playboy
not true with NFTs, though.
Absolutely. When Playboy reissued the magazine, the people got the reissued version, and the reissued version was not as valuable. Because there is a way of authenticating who got the first Playboy magazine with an Andy Warhol portrait in it. As long as there's a way of authenticating who got the first, or the second, or the 1,000th, then it will have value. And NFTs are artwork exploring the nature of value in the art world.
Hmm.
Yes, the artwork that's being produced is stupid, but the methodology behind it, the marketing behind it is unique enough to represent a point in time.
NFTs are absolutely dumb, and they'll be coming to PHP Architect this month. All right, that's it. Are we done? We got anything else to talk about? I got one more thing.
Man, I have a question.
I got so many questions. What's your question?
How do you hire a really good programmer?
You make sure they don't get a
work.
job at another company. You have people apply to another company that they're thinking about applying to.
I have recently gone through a bit of a revelation with the company that I work for. We're a startup. And I just got sold.
You don't want to work for a startup. I just want to put that out there to anyone that might be listening right now.
Cool.
You never want to work for a startup.
I'll mute you real quick. I recently just got 100% sold on the company, on the work that I do and the work that my team does. And now we need to hire another developer. And my standards went from like, do you understand PHP and like, is Laravel great? To like, you better be way fucking better than me. You better be able to nail this shit every day and work hard because you love this company and want to see it succeed. And then I started doing interviews. And I've got guys who are like, yeah, you know, it's like, I'm not really looking for a new job, but like, this sounds like a great opportunity. And I'm like, you're out. You were straight out. So how do you find a good PHP programmer? Because like, I've got the guys who are excited. Like, I want to work on this thing. I'm quitting my company because I want to work hard on
That's the
stuff
problem.
that's cool.
It sounds like you're only looking for guys and not women too.
I got to be honest with you, Tom. One of the realizations I had to come to grips with. Nobody's gonna love and care about Diego Dev as much as I do. John's, he's there somewhere, second, third place. He's in my rearview mirror. But when I was hiring people, I always had this expectation that they were going to embrace Diego Dev the way I embraced Diego Dev. Like, it was going to be their life. They were going to want to tweet about it. They were going to want to talk about it. They were going to want to make it achieve and get better. They would remember to put themselves on mute when they're puffing away at their vape pen.
Oh, I found.
And I had to come to the realization, that just wasn't going to be the case, and it hurt.
We thought it was going to be family. Like, we were hiring people we knew that we were close with. It was going to be like a family building something together.
Is this about Spencer?
Spencer was the start of it. We don't talk about Spencer anymore. Spencer was our scapegoat.
I remember the first time
anytime anything went wrong, it was Spencer's problem. It was Spencer's fault. But no, I mean, and don't get me wrong. We've got a great team, and they're all developers, and I take a lot of pride in the fact that we are a source of income for those people to make a living and to have health insurance and that sort of thing. So, but I struggled with it for a very long time. John can vouch for this. I really had to come to the realization that if we went out of business tomorrow, they would all have new jobs a week or two later, because that's what they had here. It was a job. They were all very talented people. When we had one employee who I was just I in my eyes was the future of Diego Dev. This one employee was going to be the beacon of what Diego Dev was going to become when they went to work for another company. I mean, I can't fault the other company, because obviously we thought they were good enough to hire them. We thought they were good enough to pay them a salary.
You didn't fault the other company. You faulted Spencer.
It wasn't Spencer, but I you know, but it was that individual where I just was like, all right, you know, kind of fuck it. You know, nobody's going to champion Diego Dev, but you know, me and John.
Well, I'll tell you, I got equity, and when I got equity, I pulled up the page that had like my vesting and I went, oh shit, I love this company. Like, I love this company. I want to work for them forever and make my equity the most it can be. And I believe in the cause. And like, I always got these conversations from startup owners who were like, we are a family, we are a unit, we are working together to better the company. And when I started getting equity, I was like, no, bro, I feel it. Like, we are doing this, me and you.
But you
really,
the company is not public, right?
no.
So you can't cash in your equity right now, right?
Well, so they're in the Series C.
But does that
So
mean you have access to physical funds, or is it
So I'm
one
on-
day
I'm on a-
if they
I'm on a
they
four-
sell?
I'm on a 4-year investment so I can't get anything right now. But every time the company gets evaluated for a larger amount of money, I can cash in my equity shares for the amount that they were valued at when I first got it. So my shares, even though private,
Sounds like
are-
NFTs again. It sounds like the whole NFT thing to me.
it's not that different.
We have equity in the company. We have a
Yeah,
lot of
no shit.
no.
You have
No.
equity in the company you own? You don't
no.
say.
In another company.
Yeah,
And right now it's just nothing.
it's just equity. It's just saying we own 10% of a company that, you know.
But doesn't that
Yeah.
motivate you? Doesn't that make you say, like, I want to make this the best it can be for what it is?
I mean, not if I can't cash it out.
No. I'm getting away from my core concept, which is I want to hire really, really good developers. I want to hire developers that are better than me.
Did you think about showing them a comic strip and say, why is this funny?
Yes. Turns out that only
Did you
that
just
only
turn the
works
show
for
into a
middle
big
management.
advertisement for your company?
No, but how do you?
Are they paying for
You've mentioned several times you're hiring, and there are people I'm specifically trying not to hear that. So let's wrap it up.
All right,
They don't want to work
Lenflow.com.
for a startup. They know that already.
I just want to know, how do you judge a developer's quality? Because I've had 3 interviews this week, and within the first 5 minutes, I knew, like, oh no,
I can tell you this for me personally, if your first understanding of this individual is when they sit down and have an interview with you, you're already behind. I treat people like professional sports. Like, I scout people. I watch their development over years. I follow them. By the time I interview somebody,
I don't have that luxury.
yes, you do. You just need to have the discipline to do it. You know, when we're hiring, we go after.
I need to have the time to do it.
You need to make the time to do it. This is important. This is important. And this is why I do it. When we get in a position to hire people, we will reach out to people first. There's only been a couple times we've sent out blanket, hey, we're hiring. And those were for specific positions.
Okay, so how do you reach out to people?
We just tweeted.
Like you said, we just tweeted. Is that what you said?
No. I mean, like, you've got a guy who wants to work for you, or a girl. I've been corrected. You've got a dude. You've got a dude who wants to work for you. Where do you start?
How's dude better?
Dude
Like
is
you're talking about somebody I have been following and I've been kind of tracking.
No, I'm saying I need a DBA.
Right.
And I've got 10 resumes to look at. How do you?
Well, I mean, right off the bat, okay. So, like I said, you're already behind. But if you have the resumes, you should be doing deep dives on their socials. And if you give me this, well, they don't have social. Again, that's your fault. That's your fault. You're that much further behind when you do that interview, right? I mean, you're interviewing for your company. They're just looking for a job.
That's
right?
true.
You're looking for the right person. You're the one that should be doing the homework. You're the one that should be doing the legwork to see if they're the right person. By the time, it would drive me crazy if I went to an interview and somebody didn't know anything about me, and then I'm trying to sell myself. It's like, then you're not serious about hiring somebody.
That's
the
voices of the elephant speaking.
You don't want to hire somebody. You just want to fill a seat at that point, which is fine. You might be in that position. You might not be looking to hire somebody. You might just be looking. You just might need a developer.
No, you're 100% right. So if you're putting yourself on the market,
you need to do the legwork. Don't say if you're putting yourself on the market, it's not their position. It's not their position. They might have a job when they come talk to you. They might not be looking for a job, but might find your position interesting. It's your responsibility to do the legwork. Period. We always have pretty good interviews. It's because I do my homework when people come to us for interviews.
That's true. He does a good job with it.
That's why we've never hired you, Tom. What?
That's not actually why.
It's true.
Because I'm an idiot.
It's because you turned us down, you bastard. All right.
Can we tell that story real quick, just so that the new listeners, and by new I mean people within the last 2 years, know that story?
Go for it.
I'd
love to hear your version.
My version. We have been friends for coming up on 10 years. And did you just ask Eric to correct me?
No.
We're friends, right?
Yeah.
And so the company I was at did not do performance reviews or raises or any kind of like conversation about compensation whatsoever. And I kind of just got really, really sick of it.
You were there for years without this, right?
For years without any kind of review or positive reinforcement whatsoever. And this was just after you guys had just established Diego Dev. And I came to you saying,
just talking in general. I mean, we're just friends talking about work.
There was a lot of beers at business.com and talking about work, and you guys told me what I should be earning, and I did not take that as an offer. I took that as yeah, really. Well, it was an offer.
You took
but
that
I
offer
wasn't
as a play back to your current employer.
I was like, if I remember correctly, you took the offer, it turned into resignation.
It was leverage.
But I did not, in my youth, see it that way. I was
10 years
narrowly. Yes, 10 years ago. That's a long time. I was very narrowly focused on doing what I was doing. And the idea of I could make more somewhere else only made sense to me as leverage. It did not make sense to me as like something I should do because I am uncomfortable with change.
Well, it worked out for you. You used your leverage. Now all you could do is be mad at us for not offering you more that you could have gone to them and gotten more money for. Maybe you'd still be in San Diego if you were making
fair
more.
at all. I would not still be in San Diego. No, I was stupid.
So the moral of the story is Tom used and abused us, took our friendly offer of, I'll be part of your team. I'll help you build the company. Took our friendly offer and got more money for himself.
The bottom line is, if you don't accept an offer from us, you might end up on our podcast.
And we'll make fun of you for years about it. We will not let you forget.
No, the moral of the story is that when you are discussing business with friends, you have to create an emotional barrier between when you're discussing business and when you're being friends. And I was spectacularly bad at that. And I feel terrible about it because you guys are my best friends and you were putting me in a position where you could elevate my career. And I just wasn't even fucking aware of it because I was casual about the whole situation. And that's a huge regret of mine. I think I could totally work with Diego Dev and make things great and do my thing, but I also wouldn't learn the things I've learned now. And
hey, how do you know that?
Trust me, we're happy you didn't take the job there. What do you think?
Yeah,
of that?
no, fucking up is part of the process. Like, it's the reason that the person who dropped tables didn't get fired, because fucking up is part of the process.
Listen, we didn't say he didn't get fired.
But I take offense that you're like, I take offense that I wouldn't have learned what I've learned now, like where you're working at so much better than working with us. That's just a shitty thing to say.
No.
Such a range. We have such a range of clients. I mean, it's crazy. Like
what I learned in the last 6 months.
Okay.
Still offensive.
Right,
you're still offending us.
Let me try again.
Please don't.
Yeah, let's just drop it there. I'm John. Thanks for listening.
Let me just throw this last thing out. Let me throw this in Discord so that it's there and I can clear my board. And I'll feel like I accomplished something. First thing, Discord. I need more titles. I'm not putting "but" in our title. So anybody who had the title with the word "but" in it, that's not happening.
What is that Discord address?
But listen, if you're a PHP developer, the good news is PHP is still a sought-after language when it comes to web development. The top programming language, most popular and fastest growing choices for developers. And PHP is still on the list. It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th down, but it is only second down for web development and backend, which is what PHP is. There's other stuff in there for embedded, for mobile. That's Python, Java, C. JavaScript is the only language. JavaScript is the only language that is above PHP that is designed for the web. So if you're developing in the web and you develop in PHP, good choice, man. Good choice. I don't see any other webs on here.
PHP is the peach.
Ruby's just...
Ruby has fallen from grace, haven't they?
Really has.
All right. But yeah,
there's gonna be a framework that comes along very soon that elevates it back up to king in the mountain. There's gonna be a documentary about it and everything. Trust me.
Ruby had stagnated, but then Taylor Rockwell saved it.
Taylor's gonna migrate Laravel over to Ruby, and he'll be the king again. All All right, that's it. For episode 271 of PHP Ugly. I'm Eric.
I'm John.
I'm Tom.
Keep it ugly.
Keep it ugly.
1, 2, 1, 2. Coming off the top, y'all know how we do. Listen, I'ma drop a freestyle you can cherish. I'ma send a shout out to the host named Eric. Yo, he's never on some average shit. You know, Eric, he stays loud and passionate. I'm about to break it down for y'all with the clever song. Yo, shout the host named Thomas, cause he's never wrong. Yo, shout to John. You know that he's smart and quiet, unlike my freestyles, which cause a riot. I'm about to do it like this, cause the people love me. Shouts out to PHP, the ugly. It's called ugly cause it's not professional, but I'm about to come through and bless it with style. So let's do it when I'm spitting, I perfume the room. Yo, the segment of the show is called Doom and Gloom. That came from Thomas. Yeah, can nobody go beyond this? I get the mic and then I'm about to keep it like a promise. Yeah, and y'all know we fill them up with anguish. We talking about the PHP, the programming language. About to break it down, no exaggeration. What do y'all do for a living? Web applications. Okay, I can dig it. My words spray tight. They getting together on the Thursday nights. Yeah, when it comes to rhyming, you can call me the new dude. I spew true lyrics while y'all broadcast on YouTube. So let's get it. You know my lyrics are major. All up in the comments, they got plenty of haters, but they doing what they doing. Keep it ugly. We ending every show with the saying it's lovely. Let's go. Hey, shout out to y'all. Peace to the whole squad, man.
Woo.
All right, so I love our Discord. That's discord.phpugly.com. I love our Discord. Reading through the titles, you can totally see where the show took a turn. It went from I was so drunk, it's called running joke foot commands to this is where everything turns poorly. Try putting it in your butt, see what happens. Butt venom. PHP Ugly NFTs, butts.
That was right after you
PHP
said, I'm not putting butt in it, so then they started putting butts in there on purpose.
God damn it. What do we pay you guys for? This naming stuff is hard. Actually, I actually might end up going with PHP as a peach. Listeners will appreciate that. All right. Oh yeah, I'm spoiling stuff. I should wait for time to get back. If you guys want to hear some spoilers, hang out for a little bit.
What are you gonna spoil?
Artwork. We need to have discussions about artwork. Tom. So you guys surprised me.
How so?
You guys surprised me with the new PHP Ugly logo. You guys you like that last one?
No.
You don't like the last one.
This keeps trying to force the PHP into
Talk about butts. That's the whole butt thing right there.
Yeah, the butt is wrong. And it's like,
I don't know. John kind of sold me on it when he mentioned he
it's so fixably wrong. Also, I thought we were going for like a polygon thing.
You're the only one that's mentioned polygon.
Yeah.
That's not how Fiverr works. See, what we should have done is we should have done 99 designs. We can still do that if you want, but I mean, we just wasted our money here. Here, I mean, we just went with
waste money. I don't know how much money we're wasting though. Like, you keep saying Fiverr, so I keep thinking like $5.
No,
your pedal for your Stream Deck.
Yeah, it's either a new design or a pedal for your Stream Deck. You make the call.
What, do I get to pick Polygon design then?
Well, if we went 99 designs, we would tell them that that's one of the designs we're interested in, and like a bunch of different artists kind of contribute. Here, you kind of have to like figure out what artist you want to try, and we just went with like a minimalist artist, but
man, it's so The more I look at it, the more it's like generic.
Well, it's a freaking podcast logo. It's going to be somewhat generic.
No, it's not. No, like the round table, and
I can tell you right now, a polygon design is going to only be trouble, only have other troubles associated with it in the future. Like there's a reason why I want a minimalist design, a solid minimalist design.
I can back that up.
go on.
Done. We've said our piece.
I know. Oh, we're all holding secrets here.
100%.
I know the secret, and
Oh, you do?
yeah.
Okay. Well, then you know the secret.
Yeah, we talked to him about it before.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the reason the microphone doesn't work. But man, like every iteration seems to keep missing the point.
Well, I mean, in this iteration, I think the second one that they had done, I can't even find the second one anymore. Where's the second one at?
Are you sharing? Are you going to share these in Discord? Is that your plan?
I can if you want me to.
I feel like the ugly is getting lost in
Or just
all
share your
three.
screen for people watching live.
In all three designs. Hold on. Let me see if I even can.
Oh, excuse me. I'll drop them in Discord.
Yeah, drop them in Discord. I can't share my screen.
You're fine with that? Okay. Well, if you're fine with that. Discord! If you guys are still hanging out, let me know what you think of these designs.
So,
look,
I get what you're saying about design 2, but
randomize them so people don't know which ones we're talking about.
In all of these designs, the ugly gets lost.
But I mean, in all seriousness, who cares? It's not. We don't need an ugly logo. It's just the name of the show.
Yeah. I'm with John on that. All right, I got all three of them here. Let me rename them because they're kind of.
I don't want an ugly logo, but the word ugly. I think the word ugly exemplifies the fact that we don't stay on topic. We get deep into stupid shit.
Way too deep.
Not too deep.
Yeah, Kevin, we haven't shared
just what
anything
we
yet.
do.
We're gonna drop them in Discord.
I'm just renaming them. Just renaming them, Kevin. Hold on 1 second.
I don't think it's too deep. I think this is what we do. I think there are not podcasts about. There are no podcasts even close to about what we do.
Okay. All right.
We talk about the business side.
Yeah,
and
others have
no
like
particular order
and good topics.
No particular order. I'm
thought
going
out
to
topics.
drop. You guys let
hear
me
John.
know.
Eric, I can't hear John.
Is John talking? All right. Oh, my screen just went blank. John, what did you do?
Stop.
All right,
from
here we
sharing.
go.
I'm like, no, don't share them.
Can I share them all at once? Can I do that? Are they all going? Let me see if they're all going here. Where's the other one? Oh, I lost the other one. Here it is. All right, people.
I think what we do is special.
See, I can't send the images without typing something. Boom.
That's fine. Just there you go.
Oh, only one of them displayed.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
Delete that and start over and just do one at a time.
All right, I like that. I'll just delete these two, and then delete this one.
No, I think what we do is very special. I think honest conversations are not what people who normally do podcasts want to do. I think episodes where Eric gets fucking pissed off at me, or John is high and just stares at the screen for an hour,
It happened.
No, I think those are signature. I think that
Maybe
is
because
like
it's a PDF, not a JPEG.
Oh, it's a PDF. God damn it. Let me see if I can fix that.
I'm proud of what we make here.
Just take a screenshot of it.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do exactly. Fit with. Okay. Let's do this one. Let's do this. Good, Tom. We're listening to you. You're proud.
Kind of hard too.
This one. And then what's the last one? All right.
No, there was the other. You're not going to include the first ones?
Oh, I can do that one
That's
too.
the first one.
No,
No,
it's not.
that's not the first one. I
That's the first one I saw.
I got the other one coming in. Hold on. I'll include. You're talking about the angry one?
Yeah.
Yeah. I can do that.
If you're eliciting feedback.
I like the angry one.
You like the angry one?
Yeah.
I think this is the angry one right here. Yeah, here's the angry one right here. Let me grab this one here. This one I like because it's got different profiles to it. So let me do this. Let me go. Oops, that doesn't work. Let me grab this one first. And then
Stop.
do this.
Hey, stop giving thumbs up. No. Dude, I like that one best.
Really? I thought everybody thought it looked like a high school logo or something.
That was my thing. That looks like a high school banner.
What?
Somebody's holding up at a pep rally or something.
I totally agree with you.
Have you not seen Joe Rogan or Barstool Sports or like every other podcast?
We're trying to get Joe Rogan kicked off, remember?
That's exactly
great
what
too.
Joe Ferguson said. It looks like
that's great too.
College football silliness. I like this one better, but the back.
I understand the problems. I understand the problems with the most recent one.
What Joe? What do you mean the back square is weird?
The one with that little black microphone.
Yeah, with the black microphone.
Oh yeah. The black square is weird. Yeah. I agree with you.
Yeah.
That one.
None of us like that one.
See, I think my favorite is still the third one I posted. And we had a lot of discussion about how the elephant doesn't symbolize PHP. It's just showing you PH, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I think my favorite is that last one.
The last one, the side?
I like the last one. It still has that high school vibe, but I understand that it doesn't translate to some media.
What do you mean it doesn't translate to some media?
What we were talking about doing.
If you had to stitch that onto something.
I don't know. That one might.
I like the tusks. I like the... That's a big thing for me. The tusks.
The tusk.
That is a big thing for me.
I mean, it's also not the PHP elephant either. There's nothing about that says PHP.
We're not the PHP elephant. We're not making a documentary about how Taylor saved PHP. By the way, I was being very reserved. I think that whole fucking thing is so ridiculous. And as a film critic, holy shit, it holds no value. I am so upset by the whole thing.
I mean, the only thing I would say about it is I don't think it's something that Laravel or Taylor themselves are doing. I think they were asked to be part of it. So,
sure. You're totally entitled. You're like allowed to say no. I would never.
But why would you? He's proud of it. I mean, Laravel is all he's been focused on for the last 12 years, 15 years.
Not Laravel, money.
The Laravel framework, what he built, you can't fault him for I can't fault him. I can't fault him. if somebody were to come to me and said, "Hey, I want to do a documentary on PHP podcast, and I think what you guys did with PHPUgly is important enough to be part of it." Yeah,
that happened. That happened last week, and you guys were very nice about it.
We didn't mention PHPUgly once.
Just to remind you, someone interviewed you and John, and you guys were very nice.
Interviewed us about a company we were running.
You did not at any point cast yourselves as the saviors of PHP Architect magazine. Before PHP,
you should have said that on the show. That would have been funny.
No, before PHP Architect, PHP was going downhill, and then Oscar asked us to bail him out. He was he couldn't take the pressure anymore, so we stood up.
Now look
said,
how
we can take it.
Popular they are.
That's my problem. Is that I don't care what Taylor thought he was getting interviewed for. I know that the director, the editor of that trailer had an ultimatum, and I would have done my, as you said, due diligence and made sure I didn't get cast as the fucking hero of PHP.
Well, we still don't know he did, but yeah. I would think that, and again, we don't know what conversations happen. He might take exception to that. I don't know.
Oh, I'm sure he will. I'm sure he will.
My point is,
Kanye is just so...
You can't fault him for participating in this. It's not like he was looking for more attention. He's like, oh,
no. But when they say we're making a documentary about Laravel, then you can fault him for that. If they said we're making a documentary about modern PHP frameworks, if they said they were making a documentary about Diego Dev, I know you would be like, okay, that's a weird fucking thing to make a documentary about.
Make sure you get my good side, is what I would say. I put my
the testicle hangs to the left
company for the last 10 years, man. You're gonna be a bitter old man, Tom.
I am a bitter old man.
Appreciate things.
No, I don't.
Discord. Come on, final verdict. What logo do you guys like? Come on, Discord. Look, everybody's left. It's just you and I, Discord. Nobody else has to know. Nobody else needs to know. Sometimes the lead. Yep, you're absolutely right, Sevi. Yeah, it's easy for us to criticize, right? I mean, we're on the outside looking in, so come on, Buttery. You want to be our first fan. You need to make a call here. We got check marks happening here. Last one or third?
Man, I just
third.
wanted to be badass.
Third one, Kevin. I do like that third one. Looks like a lot of people are putting are checkboxing the last one.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with the college style. I want it to be a badass logo.
I just don't. I mean,
I like the square cut of the one that everyone says is a college logo.
Joe, you keep checking. Joe, you're the one putting all the avatars up here. That all counts as one vote, Joe. God damn it! I thought these were different people. They're all Joe.
No, they're all Joe.
All right, we got 2 votes for the last one now. 3 votes for second to last. Kevin, Sevi.
See, this is where those Patreon rewards really come in, is you get to pick the sticker.
Oh, we should have put this in the herd. We should have put this in the herd channel. God damn it.
No one pays enough attention to that. It's just the herd channel just has my Wordle score, Joe's Pop OS screenshot, and that's it. we don't have enough fans, according to your word.
That's right, we don't, and that's a pride thing, man.
Are you gonna cut that part from the podcast?
Which part do you want to cut?
Where I mentioned that someone's showing up at the office.
Oh, I wasn't going to. Do you think I should?
I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings.
I don't think it hurt. I mean, it's not like they just came in out of the street. I mean, they messaged us. They asked if it would be okay that they were going to be in town. So I don't think it hurts anybody's feelings.
Right.
But it was cool.
Yeah,
it was one of the cooler things.
I just don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. That's all.
I met a listener once down at Dog Beach and gave them tickets to the San Diego Zoo. They messaged me and said, "Hey, I'm going to be in San Diego. I'm really excited. What should I do?" And then I gave them some things. I was like, "Hey, if you want to go to the zoo, I'm going to be at Dog Beach Saturday morning. Come on down, and I'll give you tickets."
Okay, that's different. You like people. I don't like people. I was watching a show.
I like meeting people. I like when I go to conferences and people are like, because
you saw me lock up when I met Taylor. I don't like meeting people.
That's different. But when people walked up to you and said, "Hey, are you that guy from PHPUgly?"
No one did that.
No.
They walked up to you. They walked up to you, and I was talking to you because I was holding onto your ankles the whole time because I was like, I don't like being around people. And I was like, where are you going next? And you were like, I'm going up to my room. And I was like, okay, so what should I do? that was my whole experience. It's okay. Eric's gonna be gone, and John is with his kids. So I'm gonna get beer and drink in my room.
Yeah, it's because I'm loud. Everybody hears my voice. I have a very
You are
distinct
so
voice.
loud.
I know. I should do something about that.
No,
I'm not going to. But yeah,
no, I think you should like get into aquaponics and just be the absolute loudest person who's ever been into aquaponics.
Do a podcast.
Oh no, these fish. These fish, they love the shit I'm pouring in there.
All right, we need to show.
Do you have a space? Do you have a space for that at your new apartment or your new house?
New apartment.
I'm so used to.
Get so much space, man. I don't even know what to do with it right now. I'm kind of embarrassed by it, but yeah. I have actually a space picked out for it. We have so much stuff we've got to get done before then, and so much money to spend still, and it's on my I want to do at some point list.
But like isn't that so exciting? Like something to do.
Mm-hmm. I should stream how I do show notes, man. I love my little show note workflow here.
Dude, I am such a disappointment.
We're still streaming, but I'm curious why.
The guy who's running Laravel Magazine, like I really want to be involved.
I really think you should. I think you should. I mean,
I can't.
You're gonna have to be a little bit more of a fanboy, but
I can't seem to make the time happen. I really want to do it. But like for this podcast, I've had it scheduled for 4 or 5 years as a heavy drinking night.
Oh, and trust me, for everybody listening, John and I have tried several times to move our recording time of this podcast. We've had people request that we record during the day so that more people can tune in. And this knucklehead keeps putting the brakes on it. So, Yeah, I will say that he has a specific time where he can record and kind of sticks to that.
Now we have an intro song that says we record Thursday night, so it has to be Thursday night at some point.
No.
That's true.
Yeah, for the last 2 years, it's been locked in. No one's had to worry about it.
They're getting together on the Thursday nights.
It's so difficult for me to make time right now. And I want to be involved. I really want to do it, but I have to make explicit time for it. And that's something I'm so bad at. And he's in Transylvania.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a straight up 12-hour difference.
He's clearly a vampire, so you're fine. I don't think it matters to them.
And he stated as much. Man, when I'm done with work, I am fucking done.
That's the thing. That's the mindset you got to get in. You're never done with work. You just keep working, baby. Keep working.
All right, so we got a winner. The last one's a winner.
I'll eventually be vegan that way.
Last one? Are we all saying that? No? They don't let Joe trick you. Is that the one Joe voted for?
I saw. Yeah, where he put all the things on there.
He's cheating the system.
Kevin, are you changing your vote? Kevin, you voted twice. Kevin, you can only vote once. Pick one.
The last one is
specifically he liked the last or the third.
The last one is a great sticker.
Mm-hmm. Or magnet.
I don't know how it works. I think the second to last one works great as a mug or a square pattern that would need to be put somewhere. I think they're both great. See? Everyone's on board with this. I like the edgy, angry. Not that I'm doing that.
Not that you're edgy.
Off the third one. See what happens when we put it out there to the community. They help you make the decision, whether you like it or not.
I'm telling you.
I like it. What's that watermark though? ZDZ?
That's just so we haven't purchased it yet, so he watermarks everything until we make a decision on which one we want.
That's fine. I'll get rid of that. I can do that in Photoshop.
We've already paid for it. You don't need to do that.
I just do the practice.
All right.
Hey, thanks everybody in Discord for hanging out with us. You are what make the show great. Honestly, we've been told that the only reason people listen is because of the Discord channel. So
it's true.
Yeah.
Also, happy birthday out there to anyone who's got a birthday this weekend.
If only we knew somebody that had that.
Nope.
Don't
know.
Tom, happy birthday, buddy.
What?
Aww.
Come on. Seriously?
All right, going offline. Thank you, everybody, so much. And we will let you know where we end up with logo stuff. Bye.